Giant stone structures appear across different continents. Some were carved with surprising accuracy, while others were moved across great distances. Archaeologists continue to study these sites using modern tools and analysis. However, many important details remain uncertain. Some structures show engineering abilities that seem far beyond what early civilizations were expected to know, yet they remain standing today, often without written records to explain how they were built. This documentary explores 5 of the most impressive and unexplained stone mysteries on Earth. Each site challenges modern understanding of ancient construction and human capability. Number 1. The Baalbek Trilithon. Baalbek is one of the most significant temple complexes of the ancient world. It later became a major Roman religious center. However, the earliest layers of the site remain difficult to explain. These lower foundations contain enormous blocks known as the Trilithon, each weighing more than 800 tons. The stones form part of a massive platform. Yet the size of this foundation appears far greater than what Roman architecture required. Researchers discovered that the Trilithon rests on an even older layer of smaller blocks. This indicates multiple building phases. However, the identity of the earliest builders remains unknown. The quarry lies about 1 mile away. The ground between the quarry and the site is uneven and sloped. Transporting even one of these stones would require exceptional engineering. However, no transportation route or equipment has been found. Some researchers suggest wooden rollers, but wood capable of supporting this weight is extremely rare. Others suggest large sledges made slippery with animal fat. However, the required force would still be extreme. Raising the stones presents an additional challenge. The platform is nearly 30 feet high. No ancient crane could lift stones of this size, and even modern machines struggle with similar weights. Near the quarry lies the stone of the pregnant woman, weighing about 1,000 tons. Another nearby block is estimated at more than 1,600 tons. However, both stones were left unfinished, and the reasons remain unclear. No other site in the region uses stones of this magnitude. This suggests a unique engineering tradition. Yet the purpose behind constructing with such large stones continues to be debated. Despite decades of research, many questions surrounding Baalbek remain unanswered. The earliest builders left behind no clues, and the techniques used to move the Trilithon remain unknown. Number 2. The Yonaguni Underwater Monument. Off the western coast of Japan, a submerged stone formation near Yonaguni Island has puzzled researchers since its discovery in 1986. The structure includes terraces, flat platforms, sharp angles, and long straight edges. Some researchers argue the formation is natural. They point to mudstone layers that break cleanly along horizontal and vertical lines. However, several features appear unusually precise. Some edges look carved rather than eroded. Marine growth covers many surfaces, making close inspection difficult. This adds to the uncertainty. Dating the structure has also been challenging. No artifacts have been found on or near the site. If the monument sank at the end of the Ice Age, it could be more than 10,000 years old. However, this date remains speculative. If the structure is artificial, the identity of its builders is unknown. No similar monuments exist in the region. Some researchers propose a lost coastal culture. However, no supporting evidence has been identified on land. Strong ocean currents restrict the time divers can safely study the site. Equipment is also difficult to stabilize underwater, slowing mapping efforts. Despite years of research, the origins of the Yonaguni Monument remain uncertain. Whether it was shaped by nature or carved by humans is still debated, and questions continue to grow. Number 3. Puma Punku megaliths. High in the Andes Mountains lies Puma Punku, part of the ancient Tiwanaku civilization. Archaeologists consider Tiwanaku one of the most advanced prehistoric cultures in South America. However, the construction methods used at Puma Punku remain unclear. Many stone blocks feature straight cuts, interlocking joints, drill-like holes, and geometric recesses. Some surfaces appear extremely smooth. Researchers sometimes compare the workmanship to modern machining. Yet the Tiwanaku people did not have metal tools such as iron or steel. Many blocks are made from andesite, a very hard volcanic rock. Shaping it with stone tools would require significant effort and precision. However, no confirmed method has been identified. Some stones weigh more than 100 tons. The quarry lies across Lake Titicaca. Some theories suggest the stones were transported by raft. However, the weight and lake conditions make this unlikely. Other theories propose land transport, but evidence is limited. Because the Tiwanaku left no written language, their construction process cannot be fully reconstructed. The purpose of the site is also debated. Some believe it served ceremonial or political functions. Others propose astronomical alignments. However, the exact purpose remains unclear. Despite extensive excavation, the methods used to construct Puma Punku continue to be studied. Key details remain uncertain, leaving many parts of the site unexplained. Number 4. The stone spheres of Costa Rica. Across the Diquis Delta, more than 300 stone spheres have been discovered. They vary widely in size, and some weigh more than 15 tons. Many spheres are nearly perfectly round. Researchers believe the spheres were shaped using hammerstones. However, achieving such accuracy with simple tools would require advanced skill. The exact shaping process is still unknown. Many spheres were removed from their original locations during agricultural clearing. This damaged important information about their placement. Early reports described arrangements in straight lines, triangles, and circles. These patterns may have had ceremonial or astronomical significance. However, without the original context, interpretation is difficult. Some spheres were found near settlements. Others were near burial areas. This suggests symbolic meaning, although the Diquis left no written records. New spheres continue to be found today. Many remain buried under soil or vegetation. Their purpose and construction method remain subjects of ongoing research. Despite continuing study, the meaning behind the spheres remains unclear. Their near-perfect symmetry and large number continue to raise questions. Number 5. The Easter Island Moai. More than 900 Moai statues stand across Easter Island, making them one of the world's most iconic archaeological features. Most were carved from volcanic tuff using stone tools. The carving process required large groups of workers and careful planning. Some Moai were left unfinished in the quarry, allowing researchers to observe the shaping process. However, many stages are still difficult to explain. Transporting the statues is one of the major mysteries. Several theories have been proposed, including wooden rollers, sledges, and upright walking using ropes. Experiments have shown that upright movement is possible. However, no single method has been confirmed by archaeological evidence. Most Moai face inland, suggesting they were positioned to watch over communities. Some statues contain carvings on their backs, but the symbolism is unclear. Easter Island once had extensive forests. However, environmental changes reduced available resources. These changes may have contributed to the decline of Moai construction. Yet the timeline remains debated. Despite decades of research, the full story of the Moai is still not understood. Their construction, transportation, and symbolic purpose remain open to interpretation. Number 6. Göbekli Tepe megaliths. Göbekli Tepe is considered one of the earliest known stone temple sites in the world. It is located in southeastern Turkey and dates to around 9600 BC. This makes it older than Stonehenge and the Egyptian pyramids. However, the site was built before agriculture and permanent settlements were fully established. The complex includes several circular enclosures formed from large T-shaped pillars. Some of these pillars weigh more than 20 tons. Many pillars contain carvings of animals such as foxes, snakes, birds, and lions. However, no written records exist that explain what these symbols meant to the builders. Archaeologists believe the site required a high level of coordination and labor. Yet the people of this era were still considered hunter-gatherers. This raises a major question. How did a non-agricultural society move and shape such large stones? Some researchers suggest that building Göbekli Tepe helped form early social groups. Others propose that ritual gatherings required a central location. However, no single explanation has been confirmed. The entire site was deliberately buried around 800 BC. The reason for this intentional burial remains unknown. Despite decades of excavation, Göbekli Tepe continues to challenge assumptions about early human society. Many details about its builders and purpose remain unclear. Number 7. The Rapa Nui Trilithon. On Easter Island, one of the most impressive stone structures is Ahu Tongariki. It is the largest ceremonial platform found on the island. The platform once held 15 Moai statues in a single row. Some of these statues weigh more than 80 tons. However, the method used to lift these statues onto the platform is still debated. No written records from the island describe the process. The platform itself is made from large basalt stones. These stones were transported from quarries located several miles away. During the island's conflicts in the 18th century, the structure was damaged. A major tsunami in 1960 also pushed many Moai inland. The site was restored in the 1990s with modern support and archaeological input. However, the original construction techniques remain uncertain. Some researchers suggest the platform may align with astronomical events. Others believe it had political or ceremonial significance. However, there is no clear agreement. Despite careful restoration, many questions about Ahu Tongariki remain. The techniques used to position such massive stones continue to be studied. Number 8. The megalithic temples of Malta. Across the islands of Malta and Gozo, several ancient stone temples have been discovered. These structures date between 3600 and 2500 BC. This makes them older than the pyramids of Egypt. However, the builders of the temples left very few written clues about their culture. The temples were constructed using large limestone blocks. Some of these stones weigh more than 20 tons. The interior layouts include curved passageways, apses, and complex chambers. However, the purpose of these interior spaces remains debated. Some temples appear to align with solstices or seasonal events. This suggests some knowledge of astronomy. However, the specific purpose of these alignments is uncertain. Archaeologists believe the builders used stone balls as rollers to move large blocks. However, not all researchers agree with this explanation. The temples contain altars, carved decorations, and upright standing stones. Yet the meaning behind these carvings is unclear. Despite their age and sophistication, the temples show no signs of fortification. This suggests their purpose was primarily ceremonial. However, why such complex buildings were needed remains unknown. Many details of their construction and meaning are still unresolved. These 8 stone mysteries highlight the impressive abilities of ancient cultures. They also show the limits of current archaeological knowledge. Many details about their construction remain unknown, and the motivations behind these massive works are still debated. Future discoveries may reveal more information. However, some aspects of these structures may remain hidden in the past. For now, they continue to raise questions and inspire curiosity across the world.